What a wonderful day that was. The photo is taken on Election Day in 2008. My daughter accompanied then Senator Obama and I to Indiana for his one campaign stop that day. And as you can see, we look giddy, but we also look exhausted. It was an amazing day, one I'll never forget. What strikes me about the day is you have to be present in the moment. And we'd all worked so hard for so long, but there were probably 100 times that day where I just had a pinch me moment and I said, remember this always, treasure the moment. Well, now you're going to make me cry. Looking at a photograph of myself with my daddy, as I called him for my entire life until he died. Well, fortunately, my dad lived to see me become a senior advisor to the president. He grew up in Washington, D.C. He'd never been inside of the White House until he came to visit while I was a senior advisor. My father taught me a lot. One of the lessons he taught me is that you do have to take risks and you have to be willing to go off the beaten track. When my father finished working in the Army, he was looking for a job in the United States, and he couldn't find a job where he would be paid equivalent to his white counterparts. He found a position available in Shiraz, Iran. And so after 5 years in Iran, he took another leap of faith and he moved and he worked in the University College of London. There, the dean of the medical school at the University of Chicago offered him a tenured position at the University of Chicago, a job he couldn't have had 6 years earlier. So what my dad often said to me is sometimes the shortest distance to where you want to go is the longest way around. And as you go through that swirl or that adventure off your beaten track, that's where life gets exciting and the magic happens. He taught me to have the confidence to swirl, and I didn't have it when I was a young adult. It's something I had to learn to do, and I think he helped instill that in me. So this is a photo of my wedding day. Absent from the photo is my husband, but that's okay. When I finished college, I made a 10-year plan. I was going to get a great job, fall in love, have a baby before 30, and live happily ever after. And I did go to law school, I did go to a great law firm, I married figuratively the boy next door. What could go wrong? It should have been the perfect marriage. Well, plenty could go wrong. And what I realized is that, don't fall in love with a fantasy. Get to know the person that you're marrying. Don't think that if you just will it to work, that's enough. And I had to learn that just because my marriage failed, it didn't make me a failure. I've never felt lonelier than in an unhappy marriage. And so you might think that marriage is going to complete you. It doesn't. You actually have to be a whole person first and not look for someone else to make you whole. And I think that was a mistake I made. I thought, well, if I just, find this guy next door, then my life will be happily ever after. And you just have to make yourself happy, and then you actually have more to offer somebody else. I am often asked, what are the Obamas really like? This photo was taken right before President Obama's last State of the Union. I'd had the honor of going to all of them, and before each one, he had an opportunity to have a well wish from his lovely wife. They are what you see. They are authentic. You actually know them very well. They're not afraid to show people who they are. President Obama used to say early in the Iowa days, you got to be prepared to lift up your hood and let people kick your tires and be open and transparent with people so that they can trust you. During the 2012 convention, Mrs. Obama said, being president hasn't changed who he is, it's revealed who he is. And I think that's true. I think people all over the country have gotten to know both him and the First Lady. And so what you see is really what you get. This photo hung on my wall in the White House for about 6 years. It was taken early on in his presidency. We were at the end of a very long day where he was giving speech after speech after speech. And so we kicked back on the stairs and we were talking about who knows what. But I loved it because it showed that in the midst of, a stressful, no doubt, chaotic day, we could still take a minute to just take a break and laugh. And I think that's what friendship is about. It's being present in each other's lives wherever you are. Our friendship has withstood the test of time. And we've grown together as opposed to grown apart, but we've also given each other space to grow. And I think that's what makes it resilient and strong. And you have to be there for your friends. You can't just be a casual drive-by. You have to dig in and engage and be present in their lives and celebrate their successes and be there when times don't go so well.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.